Hello everybody, this is Frogman. Welcome back to IXION, and we're right where we left off in the last episode. I'm going to try not to do cliffhangers on every single one of these, but you know, some of them that's just the way it's going to work. So we found a abandoned mining facility on an asteroid somewhere in the asteroid belt, and apparently we're going to have to go figure out what's going on in it. Again, in here you got to kind of watch some of the fun stuff that goes on. There's a lot of like little tongue-in-cheek jokes that you got to kind of find. Plus, you have to realize that a lot of what we're looking at has got deep history in like mythology or theology or things like that. A lot of the names that we're going to come up against, a lot of the fun stuff is kind of related to a lot of different things. Plus, the idea generally is amazing. So we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do here. And of course, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go rough and tumble. We're just going to blow a hole right in the side of the control center and see what happens in 2 cycles while we work on the inside. So I did let the game run just a little bit after last episode so that we could kind of clean up a little bit of the ferrous, and I went ahead and the iron, and I went ahead and ran a probe out here so that we could see a little bit more stuff. I would like to try to find maybe a little bit more material. There's a good patch right there. We're going to need to be able to start building very soon in here, and we don't have there's quite a bit of stuff in here already, but there's not enough to do the work. So we need to be able to start actually kind of making a little bit more material. The first thing that we're going to do before we look at that is we're going to go ahead and, well, if we're going to shut this off, for one. And before you get anywhere else, I wanted to make sure I had a reasonable amount of things. I want to set you on a small priority. I want to set you on a large priority. And I want it to go get us an entire load of the cryopods from wherever it's going to find the closest batch. So it's going to head over to the debris field. Debris field has 300. Now, I know it sounds kind of silly, but we're probably gonna either attempt to try to get every one of the cryopods found in every system that we go to, and we're gonna bring them with us just because we can now. There was a massive update that changed how general stability and mood happened to be with people, to where when the game first was released, people got very unhappy when there was 250 or more cryopods sitting in any one sector on the station unopened. They have since changed that to no more cryopods than are people living in sectors. So what that means is we can kind of farm and bring a lot of stuff with us, and as long as we're careful and spread cryopods throughout the Tiqqun, we should be able to bring as many workers as we want to along with us. The biggest problem, and we're going to get into cryopods right now, the biggest problem with cryopods until we can until we can select what we want to happen, is that cryopods have anything from workers to, well, they have workers and non-workers built into them, which means you can end up with a whole bunch of people that don't work at all inside your station as you pop these people open. We're going to go ahead and put one of these down right here. This is going to be the cryogenic center that is going to unlock or going to be opening all of that stuff. I'm going to drop a... I wish I could click on things and right click and copy stuff, but that doesn't work with this game. Some games it does, some games it doesn't. But we're going to place that storage pile right there, and we're going to tell it to hold that many of the people. So all of the people, once that is built, that is where the cryopods are going to be stored. And we need to turn that on. And I probably have got that off. I've got that off. And I think, how many people do we have sick right now? We can shut this one off for right now, too. Now, as soon as they get those built, we'll be able to do some things. Let's go outside here and see what happened after we decided to blow a hole in things. Alrighty, bodies of former DOLOS employees were found within the control center after examining their identification tags. Anya Shatero is certain that they have found a possible relative. They request that the bodies be brought back to the Tiqqun and that the center's personal manifest be analyzed to find out if there are any links between the deceased and the Tiqqun's crew. Preliminary psychoanalytical profiling suggests that this person is exhibiting behavior characteristic of dead Earth sickness. This is a point in time when you get to make a decision of what you want to do. Do you bring dead people back on top of your space station and figure out why they died, or do you honor them and let them just be, well, wherever they be? I'm sorry, I would rather just not. Unfortunately, disobeying direct directives, Anya Shataro decided to stay in the command center while the other crew members tried to reason with them, but to no avail. The contacts team state that they have respected the decision and has been left on the facility. Well, there we go. First person out the door decides to stay on a thing all by themselves because they thought they found a dead relative. Personally, I'm going to have to be kind of that guy that if we're working on a space station, you need to understand that we're going to see a lot of dead people. You've already seen a lot of dead people. I'm sorry. Plus, it's a game. They're just pixels. We're going to make a whole bunch of people happy here pretty soon, though, by popping open a whole bunch of cryopods. Although I need that other... Okay. You're going to bring us about 60 back? Good. 60 is a whole lot. Let's go ahead and put this on a lower level than that. And you can be nothing. We're not going to worry about this right now. I need you to go back to be doing that, please. Now, as soon as we get a bunch more iron or alloy or whatever, as soon as we get about, I don't know, 30 or 40 extra people over what we currently have, we'll go ahead and send them next door. In here. All right, so we have... I want to get this number to be about 220 before I bother even looking at things. So now what's going to happen is that the cryonic center is going to take 15 people. It's going to start thawing people out. There is a functionality in here that you can immediately shuffle people from one sector to another. I should say, as you hit a certain sector population limit, you can start moving workers and non-workers as they are thawed out in between any of the sectors on the outside of the Tiqqun. And I don't think we're only going to be able to see but 2 of them. If you hold Alt at this main screen, you can kind of get this little picture. And of course, right now, this one is not happy at us because, well, they don't have anything they need. Doesn't matter. There's nobody over there. This will cause a problem, and actually, this is causing a -0.00 trust per cycle, meaning that they're not happy with me. It's going to be a real quick pain-in-the-butt process to try to get that back up and being happy, but it should be just fine, considering that these people are +2 with us right now. I could probably make them a little happier if I wanted to, but for right now, I really don't care. Let's get back in here. And we're going to thaw some people out. And pretty soon we're going to start seeing some problems. The first problem is going to be we're going to start having people that are not living in houses. Of course, we ripped out some houses. We had a whole bunch of things. But it's not a problem right now. We'll worry about this as it goes along because we're going to have to move them back. We're going to have to move 40 people back over there to the next section anyway. The biggest problem, unfortunately, is that we're now going to start gathering up non-workers or space takers or pretty much, I don't know, meat bags. I don't know how you want to say it. I know it's kind of nasty, but as far as the game goes, the worst thing you can possibly do in a colony simulator game is to give me people that can't work. Right now, all they are is a burden on our community, and there's nothing I can do with them right now. Eventually, we'll be able to do something with them, but right now, we can't touch them. I'm not going to be too terribly concerned about them for right now, because like I said, once we get to be about, well, maybe 10 or so more people, once we get about 10 or so more people, I'm going to be sending the 40 people over here. To that point, I think we can even start building in here. Now, what I want to do is I kind of want to mimic this just slightly. However, what we're going to do is I want to mimic this spacing right here. This spacing where I can place this and this next to each other because they're the exact same width and this will be able to be a little bit more modifiable as we go. We're going to try to build it in under here for this one, because likely what we're going to do with this sector is going to become our industrial sector for right now. We're going to put all of our industrial machines, so the steel mill, the this stuff right here, factories, steel mill. We didn't unlock it yet, have we? No, get it going, get it going, get it going, get it going, please, please. Although I might have done that already. I had to kind of do the reload and restart. So if we haven't done it already, we're doing it right now. There we go. But we're going to move a lot of the unnecessary stuff out of this sector. To include, we're going to place one of these in here, and we're going to place one of these in here. This sector is going to be the sector that's going to grow our food for us for now. So I should actually, while we're waiting on those people, be able to figure out where we want to do this. Let me see. Can I draw, please? I think I want... I forget how wide this thing is. I wish there was a draw tool, and there's not. So it's not that kind of easy, but anyhow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's right on the edges of the sign. Now, we're already given several free things, so I'm going to put the free stuff down right off the bat. You can go right there. Food, you go right behind it. Yeah, I knew I'd done that wrong. I always manage to count that incorrectly. Can I have that back, please? Thank you. We'll move you over 1. Delete it. All right, cool. And then we can try that again. You go over here. You go right there. I want a 1, 2, 3, 4 spot right there. Go. Now, nothing will happen in there until we start doing some things. But the first thing for sure I want to do is, if we look in here, we can see where this line is going to be. We'll end up rebuilding this section eventually anyway, because I will be using these back walls for something other than what we're currently using them for. But for right now, this is what I want to do. All right. We're going to do stuff this direction, stuff this direction. So we need to be, I think, right on the edge of that. Yeah, right on the edge of that. Draw a line all the way over to there. Cool. Okay. We're going to have room for one of these anywhere in there? No, we'll go ahead and build that then to there. This down. All the way to there. And then we can draw that line down right there. And I'm doing this specifically because of the distance some of this stuff is. I mean, just playing that jigsaw game that we've been talking about this whole time. First one of those is going to go right there. Second one of those is going to go right there, just so it's out of the way. And then as soon as everybody is ready to come in, we'll start building their houses right along this section. How are we doing over here? We have 48 people homeless. Absolutely perfect. Let's go do this. 1, 2, 3, 40 people. Only workers. Sector 1 to 2. Go. And then what that does is that gives you a little bitty bar as it moves things next door. You get to see people over here. These people are going to go into a not very happy sector, but they should pretty quickly get better.
Population transfer complete.
Soon as these guys get all these little things built. All right. All right, they're going to get fed. And now we should be able to start dumping some of these things again. We'll dump all of these little stockpiles. And we'll do the road. Continue to work, please, my friends. Go, 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 go. Get some stuff done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's right on the edges of the sign. How are we doing over here? We have 48 people homeless. Absolutely perfect. Let's go do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's right on the edges of the sign. How are we doing over here? We have 48 people homeless. Absolutely perfect. Let's go do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so he's going to work on...
Accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
I'm going to get so tired of that, but whatever. We'll have to deal with the fact that we've done what we've done and we've made some ungodly whatever it is mad at us. It's fine. It's okay. Build roads. All right. Now, this is going to be the first time we get to actually look at how the logistics section of the game works. There is no automatic sharing between sites. There is no automatic sharing between this sector and this sector. What we have to do is we have to set up a resource management plan. So in order to be able to move food from this sector to this sector, we have to tell them what to do. So unfortunately, right off the bat, I think what we probably need to do is we need to go ahead and get a little bit more of the food going. We'll put one of those down, and I might have to move a couple of other things around. I think we can put one of those right in here somewhere. Yeah, let's rebuild that road one over. And you build it over, please. Right there, thank you. And that. And that. That tool's a little wonky, I will give it that. That tool is definitely a little wonky. Let's build one more of those. Now, we're kind of short on food. However, the thing is we get numbers given to us as to how much stuff, and I know I've already spoke about how much things we have to worry about. This is going to feed 4 food to people every 5 cycles. So what we need to do is we need to maintain 4 food in this sector every 5 cycles. Let's keep building roads. All right. Now that we're doing all of that, we'll also throw down a couple of houses in here to make people happy. So boink, 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 boink. And we'll put a road so that that's accessible for right now. I'm going to kind of flip these back and forth as I get a chance to do it. There we go. Good deal. All right, so those are now built. Out of all of these, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 5. So 30 a cycle. That's more than enough food at this point right now to make everybody happy, hopefully. And what we're going to do is these guys are out of, well, they're mad at me right now because they don't have a place to stay. As soon as their bots get built, what we need to worry about is the logistics or the Stanford resource transfer screen. This I want to sit down and talk about for a good 5 or 6 minutes, because it is important to understand how to make this work, because it's not blatantly obvious how you move things from sector to sector. The people section, the moving of population, is reasonably simple to understand. You just pick how many people you want to send, what type of crew you want to send, and what sector you want them to move to and from. The problem comes when you're trying to figure out the logistics of moving resources from one sector to another. Now, that screen looks pretty simple. It looks fairly self-explanatory until you start trying to figure out how to move things where you want things to move to. Now, there are some functionalities, so we're going to start with the food first. We're going to make sure we click on our food origination sector, which is going to be sector 1, and we're going to click on that button right there. We're going to say, I want this to be part of the logistics network system that exists between the sectors, and I'm going to be the one that offers food to the system. Right now, since we have a very small amount of food being produced, and while we don't have a heck of a lot of people hanging out in our current little space station, we're going to keep that number at about, well, 10. Reason why I should say 10. Reason why I'm worried about 10 right now, the reason why I'm going to say 10 is because 10 is about a third of what we can make in 5 cycles. We want to make sure that all the other sectors generally are happy and well taken care of before we go anywhere. Now, this is the beginning of where this gets a little stupid. Again, priorities are totally settable over here by whatever you want to do. I'm just going to immediately tell you, for food, just immediately click that all button and make sure it is as maxed as it can possibly be, because food needs to stay in every single sector regardless on top priority. Any sector that you're going to be placing any EVA units or EVA outlet, whatever the things are, those docks, You need to make sure that your alloy is set to high priority on every single one of those. But we're going to start with food right now. So now what I'm basically saying is I want to say that I'm going to participate in the sharing of resources called food across 2 sectors by checking the mark. And I want to maintain a minimum inside my sector of 10 food right now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sector 2. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And I'm going to say I want you to keep 10 in it. Now, we know that the food is being produced in Sector 1. What it's going to do is it's going to wait until there is at least 10 food in Sector 1, and then it's going to start shipping 10 food to Sector 2. We're going to change this number as the population in Sector 2 grows, because we're going to need to maintain more of the things. But the deal is I want to maintain at least 10 in here. Theoretically, I want to maintain 24 or 25. But I want to save at least this much right now. We're making 30 every 5 cycles, which means the Sector 1 can feed both sectors for now. But I want to maintain at least 10 in this sector. This is something that we will fool around with as we go for a while. The other thing that I'm going to say right now, right off the bat, is in this right here where it says export into sector, I don't ever want to move food out of Sector 2. Ever. Ever. Unless I start growing food in Sector 2, I don't ever want to move food out of it. Unless I tell it otherwise. That's something else that you need to kind of understand. Now, the next silly thing is we're going to go back Sector 1 here, and we're going to say alloy. I want to keep a... This is an important button here that is very useful very quickly. Set to half of the sector's stock capacity, meaning that I want to keep it at least 100, except I don't want to keep it at least at 100. I want to keep it at about 50. I want to keep it at half of one of the storages that we currently have. In Sector 2, again, I want it to participate, and I want to keep it at half of whatever it can keep. However, the reason why I'm keeping it at half is because there's a pile of leftover alloy in that sector that we're going to have to use up. And for right now, I'm going to leave this export to sector open because we may want to move things back and forth. What will happen is once we clean up everything in Sector 2, if that happens to ever be more than what Sector 1 has, we will send stuff back to Sector 1, which is what I want to do for right now. So let's click on the button. Let's go back over here, and we'll watch it move things. So we have 7 food right here right now. These guys are going to cycle one time. This probably, we just had a meal cycle, so we're going to get 10, and then they're going to start hauling food over here. There we go. There we're going to get some 9s and 10s. This stuff will change as we go. Now, we are going to be moving this over here as soon as we clean up most of everything in this sector. Our initial beginnings of moving things around gets a little hectic and a little crazy. Once you get several hundred people per sector, it gets very, very easy to move and do and work and mess around and do what you need to do to make things happen. But yeah, just immediately just start drawing roads and picking up all of the stuff in between everything. I don't even care where the roads go at this point. I'm going to delete them and we'll just move things out. Go to there. Go. All right, what were we doing out here? Was there anything that we needed to look at? The asteroid belt is done. Contact is over with. Contact is missing some people, and this is a very important thing. When you lose someone or when someone dies on your crew or whatever happens, you have to return your science ship to your station so that you can continue to do work. So we're going to send it back to the Tiqqun. Do I have my probe open? I don't. Let's turn this on. And let's go probe some more stuff. I think there is one right there I want to look at. And we can look at our amount of people working again. We're getting, again, kind of close. The problem is, again, that 20 people. What do you do with 20 people? Well, I could shove them over here. I could do whatever I want to with them. We're going to start doing a little bit more cleanup here. Because what I want to do for certain is I want to move an EVA dock or EVA airlock, that thing, Let's put it right there. And shut it off. Because I want to move this out of that corner. We're going to put some more farms down here. We need to make food. We got another probe going. Let's start doing the probe stuff. Do we have any more iron locally? Local iron. There's a lot of iron right there. That's a ways out. Is there anything close? Starting to get a little silicon here. There's a bubble right there. Can I get that and that? Okay, cool. We still have 150. Yeah, we needed to be doing a little bit more farming. Oh, we have 200. Why don't you do me a huge favor, bro, and go get me some people. Please. Thank you.
A probe has completed its scan.
We'll bring some more people back, and we can start building a couple of more houses in here right now, I think. So doink, 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 doink. Come on, doink, doink, and draw. There you go. Go ahead and open that back up.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Of course it has. Now that's another thing that we're going to need to put over here as well to get the people over here happy again, but we'll worry about that later. Oh, we need one of those now. Hang on one second. Let's get a little bit of this going. How many people do we have not working here? So we have about half of our population. This takes 9. Please go to work. And what I can do here is shut this off and deconstruct it. And you'll find you do that a lot. You find that you refactor and you move things around and stuff doesn't quite sit still while you play. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way the game is. So now what we can do is we can start reworking this process right here. We're going to be moving those, or building a few more of them actually. We need more food. Food can get drawn from here to there. And I need to move that. Actually, can we dump it? Almost. Close. Houses are all built. Take care of all this. Get the rest of the steel. How? We lost 3 people in the last cycle because I didn't have this on because things in here had to explode. Again, injuries are annoying. It's one of those things that they put into the game, I think, to just drive you up the wall. After a while, you become so desensitized to it, it doesn't matter. All right. Go away. What does that statement say? Ask any cook, they'll tell you you can't make an omelet without breaking a couple eggs. And then the joke goes, well, look what happened to the cook. Now, we could be a little better here and move these over. There's enough room in that spot right there that I could actually scoot this over and get another one in right here. I'm not going to be really concerned about it until we move this out.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
All right, Clan Munchie algorithms have identified that staying too long in one system exacerbates the dead Earth sickness. This collective trauma will not begin to heal until the crew can set foot on their new home. We cannot stay in a system that holds no hope for humanity. -1 permanent stability so long as we stay in the system. You can pretty much ignore this one. Play slow, enjoy being this person that hangs out and strips an entire system apart, and deal with the fact that you just lost 1 stability. Not a big deal. We're +1 for that cycle. And in this one right here, we're minus, but we're going to fix that problem right now because I'm going to build one of those things. Right there. Nope, nope, dang it. Build the road first, then build one of these. There you go. Okay, so I need to move these. All right, so we now have a reasonably decent system to kind of play with over here. What I want to do right now is we want to build another EVA docking bay, or this docking bay over here in the corner, kind of like so. This docking bay is going to be the thing that is going to bring all of the resources from out here, what we're going to be digging up. So all of this iron, this silicon, this carbon, some of the ice maybe for that matter. I don't know if we're going to be bringing ice in, but we're going to be moving the, nope, not. We're going to be moving the transporting of all of those materials into this sector so that when we decide we're ready to move this machine over here, we can. So we're going to bring them in here. I believe they will actually fit just perfectly fine down here on the edge. And what I tend to do with these at times is I will make sure, at least what I tend to do with them, what I'm going to do with them probably is we're going to adjust the distance about like that so that we can fit one there and one there.
Warning. A sector is being overworked.
Of course it is.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
How many people do we need? See, we're not even that much under. It's like, come on, get to work. We'll just send 10 people, that's fine. Only workers, sector 1 to sector 2. Go. We're thawing people out, we're just not thawing them out fast enough. Let's start building food while we're at it. One, 2, 3, and move that down. Oh, nuts. That thing's pointed the wrong direction, isn't it? That's why it's not moving. Put that right there, please. How are we on science? This is going to move over here too eventually, because that's a good spot to put a bunch of farms. All right, continue building your road over here. That can go to there, and that can go like that. That can go over to there, and that can go. Nope. That go. I want to keep that one little spot right there. How many people got hurt in that one? So far, we're dead. 4 dead people. We're fine. If I can keep it under 100 by the time we leave, we'll be okay. Bonk, bonk. I love the noises. Bonk, 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 bonk. Okay. Now, since we have 300 people in this sector, or I should say 300 people in this sector, since we have, 300 people in this sector, we're not mad about the fact that we have 178 cryopods in it. But if we had, say, 178 cryopods in this sector, sector number 2, they would be losing they'd be getting a -1 debuff because of the fact that there was too many people. There were more people in cryopods in the sector than there were people actually doing any of the work. So that's one of the things you kind of got to pay attention to. Go ahead, shut that down just so that we can get this number a little bit more happy. The number here, if it's yellow, they're not happy. So they're not happy because we've got too many people working. Go ahead, shut this off. This can't get shut off anytime soon. Essentially, I just need to be thawing people as quickly as I can possibly thaw them. Probably building more houses. Except I don't want to do that. Stop. Stop what you're doing. That was the wrong idea. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Don't. No, no. We're going to be building houses down here eventually. Or wherever. We just got to get a few more in. Alright, well, I'm going to let them kind of run a little while. We're going to build our population back up so that I can get these numbers a little bit more stable. And then I think we'll probably call it for now. But that's the kind of gist of how this thing is going to kind of go as we wander through it. We're going to kind of sit there and slowly upgrade the outside of her. We're going to slowly upgrade the inside of her. We're going to slowly do a little bit more wandering around out here. Apparently we have another one of these. We'll look at it next time. Not really concerned other than the fact that we just need to kind of make sure that we're going through all of the story pieces as we find them. We still need to make sure we find this Dolo station. So Outer Hope, we need to go figure out where it is. And we need to collect 200 more cryopods, which we're probably going to take all of the cryopods. Let me just put it like that. Probably. We're probably going to take all of them. I'm not planning on cracking open another sector while we are in this system, but what we are going to do is we're going to try to take as much of the resources that are in this system as we can. So we're going to run science. We're going to do all of the things that we need to do science. And then once all of that is sorted out, we'll probably move on with the story or do whatever we need to do. For that matter, do I have enough people I can turn that back on yet? I need 30 people. No, I need 5 more. Keep thawing. Soon as we can complete, and I think this will be the last thing that I say today, as soon as we can complete this research, and this research, this line, once we complete all of that research, we can start upgrading the internal stuff, which means we can start unlocking a lot more production of science very quickly. So, I think with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the Tiqqun. That is me. This is what we're going to look at, and well, we'll see where we go in the next episode. Again, we're going to try to just keep slowly building our stuff up until we can get things done. So, until then, I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.